So we are live, and we decided to do a brief session about our biggest learnings in the last 6 months, because these are crazy times and we learn new things every day, and that's one of the great things about being an entrepreneur. So we decided to do a lesson session about the lessons we learned. Why are you here today, Patrick?
Because I'm going to talk about what I learned.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to dive right into it? We can say that if somebody watches, please comment and ask questions on the way, because we want this to be fun and learning for everyone.
So say hello in the chat box, and also you can see on Facebook, you can click so we can see your name. If you give StreamYard access to your name, then we can see where there. Oh, there is 4 people on. Woohoo!
Okay, good. So you want to start, or you want me to start?
You can start.
I can start. So during the last year, like honestly, since we started this business, we have been investing so much money and time to learn from some of the best mentors in the world, because we know and we have experienced that just having people to mentor, to teach us, to help us to see what's working, what's not working, and make the best choices for our business, that's just really, really golden, because sometimes it's really hard to see for yourself what you're doing that is working and what you're doing that is not working. So some of the mentors that we have had the last year, we are in a mastermind with Todd Brown. We invested money for our whole team to study about Facebook ads and what is working, because there's a lot of things going on with different ad platforms, maybe specifically this last year. So my first learning, a fun learning, which is kind of obvious, but it's also so true, is that an ad should not look like an ad. This is my first learning. And what it really means is that, for example, on Facebook, if you have an ad on Facebook and everyone sees from the first sentence that this is an ad, like this is trying to sell me something, people will just scroll. And the goal for a Facebook ad is to get enough attention for people to actually stop and see it and get interested and get woven into a story. And there's so many ways of doing ads that aren't looking as like ads. I don't know, we've seen some examples of ads that are really cool. You want to tell something about some of them?
No, but I think like when we learn about writing great copy, we always use you and me and now you and you should, and this is something you have a problem with. And if you see you and you have a problem and this and you need to change or you need to do that, blah, blah, it looks like ad. And if you look at it, why Facebook was made, for example, or Instagram or LinkedIn, or it's a social media. And if you're going to write something social that you want to share, you maybe start it with I. I choose, or we went to a mountain. I did this last week. You do never see, you should listen to me because I did this last week.
It's true. And it's really important that it kind of feels casual as well, because as you said, when I post things on Facebook, if I share things in my social media, it is because I don't want to share something. I want to maybe inspire, or I want to tell a story, or I want to tell something about a realization I had. And that's totally different than trying to sell something. And it is possible to sell something also using that kind of hook and that kind of story, because people get interested. and I do think, for me, I think about like what kind of posts on Instagram, what kind of posts on Facebook are getting the best engagement, are getting people to like and comment. And really, if I can write ads that get people to like and comment, that's a good ad usually, because it's engaging, because some people feel somehow like they want to interact with it.
And a good reminder I learned from Houston Golden. He's going to speak on the event we have, but he talked about, or he said like, sorry, if you write I went to this mountain, when I read it like I, and I start to think about myself. What did I do? So so it's much better to write also because people get into a story. Not that story, but a story they have for themselves. So they think about what I did, and they think about so they get their own reflection, their own story, their own thoughts, their own imagination when they do it.
True. So that leads us to learning number 2. You already talked about we started to use LinkedIn a lot this year, or the last half year.
Yeah, and we have got to go a lot of viral, or I have posts that have reached 20 or 30 or 40 or 50,000 people viral, and the thing there was like it should be short. Oh, that's also copywriting, and that's also a good copywriting. I think both these tips is for both running ads and also social posts, but short sentences with a lot of space. So some just write a long story and it's so packed. And to be honest, if I get an email that is packed or I see a Facebook post that is packed, I stop reading it. I just like after 2 sentences, I'm like, oh, this is too much. But if you have space, if you write 2-3 lines, maximum 3 lines, and you have space, and then you write 2-3 lines again and space, and that's the same with LinkedIn. If you use short text, short stories, that have a lot of space, more people read them.
And it's true and specifically because people are using their phones to read a lot of like social media and especially on a very small screen. Like if there's a lot of text, it looks like it's just filling the whole screen. So I'm watching, like we have people helping us writing good LinkedIn posts, and I'm constantly surprised like how short the sentences are, because it's really like one line and then it's a stop and then it's one more line and it's a stop and there's space between. And I do think for things to be consumable, especially on these kinds of screens, it's really important. And for me, it's a reminder because I like to write. when I start writing, sometimes like I even put even long sentences so I can split them into short enough lines. So I'm learning to be really, really concise and just say like one sentence and then have a stop. And that's how you create. Also, I think it makes it easier for people to engage with it because it's just so easily consumable.
Yeah, and you get more likes and you get more comments on it. I see there is 8 to 10 people online now, so write your name and ask a question for us. We are here now, so if you have something you want to know about how to succeed with online marketing, right now we are talking about copywriting and copywriting on social media like LinkedIn and Facebook. What more?
Yeah, so just to lean on that a bit more, I do think also for the creatives like videos and pictures on Facebook, it also is good if it doesn't look like an ad. So things that are fun, like it seems easy, it seems it seems maybe not so formal. I do think that's a good thing. That people can relate to it in some way, and if it's too much looking like an ad, it's people like, I think many people have this like, oh, they're trying to sell me something. So you need to get the attention and you need to create the relation before giving that offer or telling people to sign up for a webinar or whatever you try to sell them. There's nothing wrong by doing that, but you need to create the relation and the attention first.
And we're going to have Molly Pittman speaking on the AweSM event, and one of her best ads last year was when she's living in Amsterdam, and she was running after a boat, and was like afraid of missing out was the text. So she was just running and see a boat on the canal, what do you call it? Canal?
No.
Huh?
I don't know what it's called.
No, I don't know. The river in Amsterdam, and she was running after a boat to reach it. And that was just an ad for like a last day of a campaign ad where people need to take action. And it was a fun thing. And I think it's all about to be creative when you're creating ads. And as you said, don't try to get it like looks like an ad, both the text and also the videos. And also try to do something different than everyone else.
So to summarize so far, we have point number 1 that we learn an ad should not look like an ad. And number 2 is why you are using you and like I and me instead of you on LinkedIn, and which is really true for all other, I think, social media as well.
And for Facebook,
Yes.
it's not you
No,
can't
that's true.
run ads anymore if you use you. You should do that. You need to use I, me, us in the ad text, and you also make it easier to write stories when you use I, me, and us, because you can write a story about yourself. The main thing is like when you tell a story, they start to think about their self in that situation. And if you then have something to sell or something, register for webinar, register for freebie, it's more like, oh, this looks cool. I want to continue this journey. So again, storytelling is so important.
And we talk a lot about using marketing, like building relations in marketing. And I do think this is true even from the ad, like in emails it's really important, in videos it's really important, in webinars it's really important, and your sales page is really important, but it's important even from the ad and starting to build relations. And especially for us who sell our own knowledge, it's so important to start building that relation and thinking, how can I engage? How can I inspire? How can I motivate people to change? How can I kind of trigger something that makes people want to take action now? And building, like, so having that awareness of your relationship building from the ad to everything you do, I think that's really crucial.
Another thing that is not about the 5 points that you want us to talk about, but there's another thing also I have learned or realized the last 6 months, and that's also to don't be independent or be that you just are on one platform. Like we run Facebook ads for a long time. And what happened last year, and that's also why you should listen to Molly Pittman on our program, because we have an event coming up in April, and it's just €47 to join it. So if you're not bought ticket, you should do it. And Molly Pittman, she's one of the best on Facebook ads out there. And we figure out that we went on a, like you said, we took all our employees to join a course with her, like a traffic course. But even in that course, when she's expert on Facebook, you learn YouTube ads.
Yeah, that's true.
So we started also to run YouTube ads, and that's also why we started to organic LinkedIn, and we also have started to do Snapchat ads now. And the reason is just to have more arenas, so we don't come in the situation that we did sometime last year that our Facebook ad account was blocked. I also talked with a client last night that had a Facebook ad account or a business manager blocked for 1 year ago, and she tried to make one new one, and then it was blocked again. So, and that's stopped the business. She can't build a list. She can't get new lists because she's just, she had just been doing Facebook ads and no other area. So just have more places to get traffic from. And it doesn't need to be paid either. It could be organic, or it could be affiliate, someone else that have a list that you can use the list to promote your own things, but have more than one arena.
Yes, especially when you have taken your business from scratch and you built a funnel and you have something that is kind of working. It's so easy to be dependent on just one source, which makes your business really vulnerable. So I do think when, like after that first level where you build your first funnel and you get traffic from somewhere, it's important to think, how can I make my business less vulnerable? And this is one of the things that also we'll be talking about on the event, because there's certain things that you do for the first level, and then there's other things that you do for the next level. And for us to come to this place and to reach our goals for next year, we just realized we have to be like less dependent on one platform. So we're spreading ourselves across different ad platforms, different traffic platforms, and just having backup plans for different, like the crucial things you do in your business. So that's really important, and that's something that we do, and it's something that we also work with our clients on. Should we go to the next point?
It's you are the boss.
I am the boss. So the third point, and please do comment if you feel this is interesting, or if you have any questions, or if you are curious about what some of the things we say and want us to talk more about it. Also do please comment if you bought a ticket to the event, because it's going to be really cool.
And if you have more questions about what we have talked about now, continue, or if you get some learning, write what you learn about what we talk about now.
Yes, please. Then we have our third bullet, and that's to build a business around the worst version of yourself.
I love that quote. It's
So
Rich Sheffrin quote, and I talk with him, and he say like, yeah, I started to say like you need to build a business around the best version of yourself for many years, but after some years, everyone are talking about that, so I need to figure out something new way to say it, and then he figure out that build a business around the worst version about worst version. I can say it.
Your worst version, yeah.
Yeah, and it's.
So what does it really mean?
It means that. First thing is like if you're just running a business alone and you are in a bad mood or you're sick or something, nothing happened. So in worst version doesn't mean that you're sick, but it's maybe like when you're not producing, when you're not doing anything, when you're not or what is your weakness like in the business. For Rich Sheffrin, he always say like, my weakness is I don't care about money. So I'm always hiring people that are money focused, want to make money, want to create that. And it's also like we also have this thing like we are not so good with economics and money, but we try to find people who are good with it. So we don't, but because that's our weakness side. So if someone else were really good at it, take care of it, the business goes better.
Yeah, and I do think that for me and for us and especially and for everyone really that is growing a business, if you build it around your best self, so it means you have to be your best self all the time. Like you have to perform, you have to do everything right, and all of us have days where we don't feel like it, and then to have systems and to have other people around it so you can actually have some leeway and maybe have some space. And I do think for many entrepreneurs that we talk to, that's their goal, is to be more free from their business and be able to take a day off or at least, and don't have to do everything that you're not good at. So I think having that mindset is really important. We had some comments. What program do you use to build funnel? Oh, wow, Nigel, that's such a huge question.
Oh, we have been using many programs. It's more about, to answer that question, it's more about what you are doing and what you like to do, and where we are in the process. We started with using New Kajabi for many years ago.
Yep.
And New Kajabi is an all-in-one platform that works really well. It's no problem with it. I think like for me, it was not so easy to find numbers there, and I need to see numbers every day.
Yes.
So I didn't like Kajabi because of that, but you can easily use Kajabi. Then we moved over to Kartra.
No, then we moved to lead pages and Drip.
Yeah.
Because we needed more email functionality than Kajabi had.
Yeah.
So we chose to use lead pages, and Drip, and lead page is a lead page, as the name says, is a lead page builder, and Drip is an email system. So that was two different solutions that we used because we needed more email functionality. And then we moved to Kartra.
Yeah, and we were super happy with Kartra in the start. And it works better with the numbers. I think the landing pages was easier, so we could get rid of Drip and lead pages, and also Kajabi after some time. And we used Kartra for a couple of years, 3 years, 3 years, and then we moved to a more complex system. I will never tell you that you should use what we are using today, because that's more like building a business. We are a team on 12, 13 people now. We are running ads for like 30,000 euro per month. So it's all about, so why we moved again was like we figured out that the landing pages in Kartra was slow, and that's also with many other systems like ClickFunnels and others have slow landing pages. If you look at, it could be really fast in some places. Like a lot of these servers are in the US, so if you're a US based company and you have your clients in US, it works better with Kartra. But if you have your clients in Europe or in Asia, the speed goes down. So we are now using Convertery for landing pages, and they have the world fastest landing pages.
Yes.
You want to say something about that?
No, I'm just thinking what Nigel is asking, because I just want to say that it's important, like it is important what system you're using, because you will be using it every day, especially when you're scaling your business. But the first question to ask is what funnel should I use for which product? Like you need to have the right funnel for the right product for the right price. And when those three go together, the system isn't that important. So when choosing a system, I would recommend finding, like testing different systems. Of course, if you want to go really deep on this, you can use a lot of time figuring out what's the best system, but using your gut feeling, like trying a couple of different systems and just go with your gut feeling, because this isn't the most important decision. The most important decision and the most important focus is to find the right funnel, the right product, and the right price.
And if you want to advise in the end, if you are a beginner or are going to build your first funnel and are thinking like you want to have a like 200, 300, 400 euro business and not build it like extremely big, I will recommend a system that we have started to promote, and it's called AweSM Online. So if you go to awesome.online,
AweSM.online.
Yeah. It's 14 days trial. You don't need to put in credit card. Test it out. There is the simplest system that we have seen. It goes really fast to build funnel. We have tested now with our clients, and we see that you save so much time on the tech stuff. So that's something I will recommend. But if you want to try more, try out Kartra, Kajabi, Simplero, ClickFunnels, and AweSM Online. Then you have 5. If you want to, and the thing is like, it's more about what works for you. All of them are good. There is nothing like, it's more personal feelings, personal things about it than they are not working. So it depends on what is important for you. So if you try 4 or 5 system, if you really want to do it, you can do that. And it's free to sign up for 14 days trial. And the system that makes more intuitive for you, use that.
So did we finish with the building a business around your worst self?
No. No, but that's a big question, or it's like, and I think for all entrepreneurs I also asked Rich Efron about that, but everyone I'm talking with who have built their own business, everyone says the same. You need to start to outsource as soon as possible. Find someone who can do something for you as soon as possible. And of course, when you're new and you just start your business, start to generate your first money, starting to hire someone or outsource someone or have someone helping you with some virtual assistants or tech stuff or whatever, it could feel really weird that you need to pay someone. But if you do this based on strategy and how you're going to build your business, you will get more free time to do what bring in money for the company. So I think also that's a good point there. Like, start with outsource as soon as possible. I remember we was on a workshop for 1.5 years ago, and there was a guy telling us like, you should outsource or hire 3 months before you really need it. And I'm thinking about that because the last company was running before what we're doing now. We hired 3 months too late. It was not when we needed it.
And they had to run around and put out fires.
Yeah.
So don't do that. Can I add something?
Nigel. Did you get answer on the question?
Yeah, he wrote thank you there.
Yeah.
So I also want to add one thing about that with building the business around your worst self, because I find that I needed to learn to delegate, and it has to do with what Patrick is saying now. It was hard for me to let things go, but when I realized, and now I realize it more and more because I'm getting really conscious about what I'm spending my time on and what I should not be spending my time on and what I should be spending my time on, and I realized that for the things that I do that is not bringing out the best version of me, it's really not good for the business that I am doing it. And I'm learning this constantly. And I had one of our mentors helping us to build a structure around our business. She said on one of our sessions that as the entrepreneur, you should be the first person in your company to do only what you love and are good at. And for me, I was like, but being the entrepreneur, I have to kind of be the victim and run around and do a lot of things that I don't like. And so I'm changing my mindset. But I do think that has to do with this building your business around your worst self, because the things that I love and are great at, I'm much more consistent in doing those well because I love it and because it's challenging me and because it's giving me meaning. So when you think about, okay, what tasks don't I like to do? What tasks am I not good at? And start delegating. That's where your company can grow. And this is also something we will be talking more about on the event. And we also have some people there that has done amazing things with their businesses the last years because they started to scale and delegate and hire people and to help them.
And and what I also know for myself in our business, but also in other I talk with, is like speed is so crucial, extremely today. Because if you don't have speed, and that's the problem with if you are not building a business around the worst version of yourself. Because when you're in a worst version, maybe you have no speed. Things take time. There is things you are not getting done because you don't like to do it, it's hanging around you, you don't do it as well as you should do it, and instead of getting someone else to do it, and if you do that, you get more speed, and speed maybe makes you most traction and also more getting to the next level.
So I have a question for the people that are watching. Are you doing this? Are you building a business around your worst self? Are you actually getting systems and other people in place to help you so that you're kind of taking into consideration that you're not always performing as your best self? And do you dare to actually get people to help you? Because as you said already, that's a fear. And for us, even we wanted to be just the two of us when we started, but we just could scale and help so much more people when we got help. And also getting rid of the things that we weren't liking is just freeing up so much energy. So I think that's a really important lesson.
And I also need to say that one thing was not on the list of the 5 points. It's,
maybe we have 6 points today.
7.
Okay.
It's getting help from others.
Yes.
We do that a lot. We're getting help. We get inspiration. We listen to others. We use money on courses, trainings, mentors. And that's also make us being one step ahead. We want to be one step ahead all the time. And we can't be one step ahead if we are not around people who are better than ourselves on the next step. And that's also why you should buy ticket for AweSM.com. And it's just €47 for 3 days with the best speakers in the world into marketing. And we will deliver a lot of content there. And we will talk about Facebook ads. We will talk about building a business. We will talk about how to be a better speaker, how to sell more on webinars, how to build your funnel. It's like all these topics you will get over 3 days, 8-9 hours each day, and you will also network. So you should go to awesomevent.com now and buy the ticket for €47. We have money back guarantee. There's no reason. So if you're listening now and not bought the ticket, do it now. You can't. It's like you're crazy if you're not doing it.
That's true. It is true. So let's go to point number 4. I'm just looking at the points and I'm deciding which one is number 4. Let's talk about marketing campaigns. So the bullet is like it's the market that decides what is a campaign that's working or not.
Yeah, I think many are working a lot, and we also do that sometimes. We're sitting and thinking about creating a marketing campaign, and we use like 3 days and like, wow, now we made an amazing marketing campaign. And then we try it out and it doesn't work.
Yes.
And then we start to cry.
At least you.
Yeah, I start to cry. But I think like creating marketing campaigns is also testing it out. You can't. Todd Brown said that to me. It's like he's really good to finding the big idea, finding the unique mechanism and all these things that he's good at. But it's like even if I don't know if it works before I try it. So don't just try one thing. Have other options, and when things start to work, don't stop it. Continue and tweak it and find out how you can do it better.
So I remember when we started to work with Todd Brown, we were trying to get help to fix something that didn't work. And he said like, but what are you doing that is working? And why aren't you doing more of that? So we decided to do more live webinars because that works really well for us, so that we have that as the base, so that we can test other things. And I do think for some entrepreneurs and some infopreneurs, like we try to push things that aren't working. And it's really good to actually try and fix it and make it work. But also sometimes we have to say, okay, this doesn't work. Let's try something else. And while we are trying something else. Let's do these things that we know that is working, so that you have that as the ground. And I remember I had a call with one of our former clients, and she was trying so hard to get her follow-up sequence from a webinar working, and she even had, like, she tried to fix it like 5 different times. She got feedback from me, she got feedback from other people on our team, she even got professional copywriters to fix it, like to write it, but she never sold on it. And I said to her, like, why are you pushing so hard? Maybe you should just remove that sequence, like try to sell in another way, because she sold in the webinar, but she was like obsessed with having to fix that follow-up sequence. So sometimes the learnings from like what is working and what is not working is teaching us where to go next, and just seeing what the markets is telling you instead of trying to force things through, and then having and using the creativity to create new ideas instead of like trying to force so hard. I do think that's important.
Yeah, it's hard to try to paddle up a river, try to go down the river and find out how you can go faster down the river,
Yes.
instead of turning around and trying to get up
Yeah.
and fighting against things. So there is more people on there. What are you learning? Write down, or it doesn't mean that you learn anything, just maybe
Maybe we're just bullshitting.
or maybe you just have heard something before and you're like, wow, that was great to hear today. So what have you heard today that was great to hear again that will help you? And what did you learn about what we are talking about now?
So can I go to the last one now, or?
Yeah.
So the last one is really about goal setting, because I've been experienced some miracles last year with goal setting, because we have this friend and speaker who's called Brian Main, and he has a goal setting system called goal mapping. And goal mapping is a system where you visualize your goal, you write them down, and you draw them, or you use pictures to illustrate them. And for me, it's been clear, or I've been learning how powerful goal setting is when you do it the right way. And actually that many of us are like running around with no clear goals. For example, the story about this house. So we had been living in a house since we came to Vietnam 3 years ago, and we were quite happy with it, but we're not totally happy with it. And at a certain point we were like, okay, let's try to find something better. And then we did this exercise with Brian where we actually wrote down like what kind of dream house do we want, and we put pictures to it. And then just a couple of months after, we actually moved into this house. And what was happening was that Peter Erik took his scooter and he was driving around Hoi An to try to find the house, and like there it is, the house. And that was because we were clear. So I do think also, and I want to add one important thing, because one thing that also we actually discussed with Brian lately, and he's the master goal setting, like he has developed this goal mapping system that is actually increasing the results by 20% when you use it. But he also said that be flexible with the time. And he said, I learned it for myself, because sometimes it takes a bit longer and sometimes it goes quicker. So if you're kind of just really, really holding on to that timeline, sometimes that prevents the goal from happening. So I do think my learning, at least, and you can add yours after, is like be really clear on what you want and be flexible with the time. So that you can, like if it just shows up quicker, like, whoa, there it is. Or if it takes a bit longer, you're still working against, or not against, but towards your goal.
Yeah, and also have a shorter target on goals. Like
Yes.
we use 3 months plan to create our online business.
That's true.
And
That's
every
true.
term. So this week tomorrow we're going to have a 6-hour session where we're going to create the plan for the next 3 months. So also having plans and setting goals and follow up every week how to reach the 3 months plan. And that's also a part of the goal mapping thing with Brian. So yeah.
And Brian will also be speaking at the AweSM event, and he will teach everyone that's there more about how to use goal mapping to reach your marketing goals. So Marianne is saying something here. She's learned about delegating. I just need to get to the point where I can pay people to help me. And I do agree, Marianne, and I want to add this, because sometimes if there's something that you struggle a lot with, you use a lot of time on it, you're not effective, you're not liking it, you're not good at it, and it is just a struggle. And sometimes you can find people that will do it. So let's say that you use 3 hours of your time on a task because you don't like it, you're not good at it, you're postponing it forever, you're doing like other things instead because you don't want to do it. And you can find someone that can do the task in 10 minutes or half an hour. And you can pay them like a small fee to do that. And what will it be worth for you to free up that time, and not at least to free up the mental space to actually be able to create something else in that 3 hours that you were struggling. And that's where I didn't think, I wasn't maybe brave enough to think like this when we started our business. But the more we do things, the more we develop our business, the more we work with clients, we see that we could have benefited if we were brave enough to hire someone earlier.
Yeah. So hire based on investment. That is an investment.
Yes.
And not that you don't have money.
It's true.
Because if we get people that can bring you in more money, and it could be you who have more time to do things, or it could be someone who can make you make more money in your business. So if you think about that when you hire people or delegate, it will be much easier to delegate, and also delegate the right role. So you can have more time to sell or serve clients, or you can have someone who can serve more clients or sell more for you.
So I just want to repeat that point because I do think it's so important that when you hire people, it should be an investment. It is an investment. So the investment is either they free up your time so that you can create more money or whatever, more customers, more leads, whatever that is useful and valuable to your business. Or the other way is that person is actually generating that themselves. Like they bring in more sales by writing emails or putting up the Facebook ads or doing whatever that you don't like. So just remember that hiring is always an investment. It's the same with ads, really. Like a lot of people are thinking about ads as just like the huge spend on the marketing budget, but ads should be also an investment. It's like you pay this money to get this money back. And it's the same with hiring a person. You pay this person this money so that you can do whatever, create more, sell more after. I wonder how to find great sellers. Oh,
Send
that's a great question.
Send an email to your email list. That's the best thing. Have an email list. Try to find someone who likes what you are doing, who have passion or interest in your product or services. That's the easiest way to find salespeople. That's where we find most of our salespeople that are already around us or know what we are doing, and they'll be following us. Yeah.
And Nigel is writing, Fiverr is a good place to find help. And I agree. Like when you start, especially when you are in the beginning and you can't hire a full-time person or even a part-time person for a long time because it's maybe unstable, you can use resources like Fiverr, like Upwork. Like there's so many freelance places where you can get things done. And then just a warning, if you start doing this, maybe you will get addicted to it. And you will continue to do it a lot. That's where I am at the moment. Like just find a person on Fiverr to do it.
So Marianne, Nigel, both of you or more people are here. Have you bought tickets to AweSM event yet? Write yes or no in the chat box. If you write no, I need to tell you why you should do it. If you write yes, you're in the right place because I think Maria will have a networking session this week. Yes,
so I will have a networking session on Thursday. And for everyone that has registered for the event, there's a lot of things going on before the event. So just to say a bit about the event itself, it is 3 days and it is from 16 to 18 of April. So it's 3 full days. It's European time zones. So it's interviews, it's networking sessions, it's Q&As. There will be live chat during the whole event so you can actually interact with other people, ask questions, and find other people that are on the same level with you or higher level with you. So one of our goals is to really facilitate the networking. That's why we're also doing pre-event networking sessions. For everyone that bought tickets early, they get more networking sessions and they get more value before the event.
As I said, it's like 8-9 hours in 3 days, so it's like 24 to 27 hours with content and networking, and you just pay €47 for it.
Yep.
And we have money back guarantee, and on top of that we have after sessions, so it's implementing sessions with us that you also get in the ticket. We have things going on before the event, so there is a lot of things. I think like now we are maybe fed up of being in COVID time and you're alone and you're an entrepreneur, this is a way to build a network. There is a Facebook group that we have things going on every day now. After you bought a ticket, you will get access to it. And so you can start to build your network. And we are pushing you to get know others who are in the group already, because our goal is like you should get partners, friends, business mentors, someone accountability partner under this event, so you can also continue after event to implement what you should have. And you will learn everything from how to run ads today on Facebook, YouTube. You will learn how to build your business, how to delegate. You will learn how to set the right price. You will learn how to make the right product, right funnel. Everything you need to know, you will get over these 3 days. And it's what works now. It's not last year. It's not like for 3 years ago. It's not what works now today.
And we made a list over the speakers that we wanted to have at the event, and we got all of them to say yes. So we do have Molly Pittman, who is one of the most renowned Facebook marketing and also like paid advertising experts in the world. We do have Rich Sheffrin that Petrek already, like we mentioned all of them already. Rich Sheffrin is one of the maybe brightest gurus in digital marketing, and he was always predicting like new trends. He was the first person in the world, as far as we know, to automate a webinar and have huge success on that. And he's always looking into what is working, like what is coming, what is the new things. So he will be also talking about some things about how the market is changing and what you should be looking at to be ahead of competition and to be prepared for the future, because the world we live in is changing all the time. Then we have Todd Brown, and Todd Brown is one of our mentors. We have been working with him for the last 2 years, and we have had great learnings from him, and he is about like finding the best marketing ideas, the big idea, the campaign that is really winning, and how to find that campaign. So he will teach you about like how to test different things and how to find out what's working, and then what you do when it's working. Yes, we have more speakers as well.
We have many more speakers, but just register. It's 47 euro. We have money back guarantee. So just go in now and buy the ticket right now. And when you have done it, write yes in the chat box.
So the link is aweSMevent.com, and it is the moment you register, you get an email from us with a link to the private Facebook group. So that's the community where everyone else who is registered for the event will be. And I just want to say who is for, because this event is for anyone that is currently selling or is looking at selling their knowledge online. So it's typically coaches, consultants, experts, authors, course creators, online course creators, everyone that has knowledge to share and that want to either start building their business or scaling their business. So we have, like we're teaching you how to get started, and there will be a lot of content about when you have your first funnel, when you have your first sales funnel, so you actually have something to sell. What do you do from there to actually live the freedom lifestyle? Like we talk a lot about freedom, but our goal when we started our business was to move to the beach, and we live now 1 minute literally from the beach in Vietnam. And a lot of our clients, they want freedom in one way or another. So we're going to show you how to create that freedom business, no matter what freedom means for you.
So that was what we had today. Go in and register now if you not have done it yet. And if you did register right now, write yes in the chat box, and I will look forward to have you on the event.
And one more thing. Do share this with other people that should be there. Yeah. Honestly, they're going to regret if they wasn't there. It's going to be a lot of community building, a lot of learning, a lot of fun. And our goal is to create an event that is really inspiring so that you can go out, get new strategies, know what to do, and even have the network of people supporting you to reach your goals and to go out there and do that. So cool. So go and register now, awesomevent.com.
And we will make sure that you can upgrade your ticket, Marianne.
So, see you at the event.
Hope this was useful. Have a nice day. Bye.